Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tales Held Dear Episode 2. We are a group of improvisers coming to you live from Berlin, Germany, and we're thrilled to be here. We're playing Numenera, which is in the Cypher system. It's from Monty Cook Games. My name is Jacob Wolf Lefton. I'll be your DM for today, and we're going to go around and introduce ourselves. And you could also say the name of your character who you're playing. Let's start over here.
Hi, my name is Ratan, and I'm playing Victor Snaps.
I'm Tetiana Mulenko, and I'm playing I know what my character name is. I'm playing Ruta.
I'm Clancy, and I'm playing Dale Briscoe.
And I'm Marijne Nieuwerf, and I'm playing Cornelius.
Amazing. We're going to just dive right into it, all right? So, a little recap from what happened in the last episode. We joined the characters as they came into this day in the city of Sildefen, which is in the mountains north of an enormous crater on the continent of Bomora. 5 years ago, there was a war between lots of different people, a large conflict, and now the leaders of this city of Sildefen are trying to get back to their other necessary projects, namely the harvest engine, which is being powered up again. And what the harvest engine does, as we learned, is it helps to reduce the amount of sort of magical pollution that seeps into the land around the city from the high concentration of artifacts which are dug up from civilizations of ages long past, of which the sages say maybe there have been 9 great ages that have passed before ours, or this is the 9th. The arguments are raging in the academic halls. The party is kind of split at the moment. We have a couple of people. Dale was returning a wild pig that was recovered within the city, part of a herd of wild pigs that is loose somewhere, and no one quite knows where, but they may be dangerous animals, and they might be linked to a conspiracy that is being fed by poetry from Victor Snaps. That Victor is a little bit hands-off and has snuck into the Respitorium, which is the place where this harvest engine is going to be turned on, and is trying to figure out what he can do. And aiding him is Ruta, who is a novelist and also a little bit of clandestine spy from a neighboring country. And Ruta is trying to support Victor in this to sort of find a way to make sure that these attackers are thwarted. And then finally, Cornelius is accompanying his fiancée, Emerald, whose family is in the, what are they called? The Council of Sildefen, and is instrumental in the workings of the city. And that is where we're going to dive in right now. We're going to move in toward the offices of the Ministry of Technology, where there is some kind of big pre-meeting of all kinds of special guests, people who are on a VIP list to the Harvest Engine Festival this evening, which is in a very short amount of time, just an hour and a half or so when the doors open at the Respitorium. And Cornelius has been dragged along by Emerald, who is a bit annoyed because you're late at the moment, because earlier today Cornelius had a boxing practice in a boxing ring that got interrupted by some vehicle crash into it, and Ruta showing up, and lots of dust, and getting all messed up. And you are standing here in this. It's not a tightly packed hall, but there's a bunch of people, like 30 or 40 different people from the ministry, and Emerald is there holding the drink in her hand, just kind of like with you in the corner. She turns to you, she says, "Okay, Cornelius, you told me that there is, some kind of threat happening? We can go and talk to my father if we want." and explain to him what's going on. And you look across the hall, and you can see the father of Emerald, and his name is Pieri, and he's a tall, sort of distinguished man, skin of like a marbled, paper-like quality, so it's pale with veins of sort of dark brown running through it, and he's, I don't know, 6 foot at least, thin, like beanpole thin man with sideburns coming down that are a bit salt and pepper, his hair thinning, combed over like nicely combed over, wearing a suit that complements his wife, who is standing next to him. Her name is Trillian, and she's a short and stocky woman, and they represent the Ridor family, one of the 3 preeminent families of the city. And Trillian stands next to him, sort of like a stone shielding this thin man. She is actually the counselor, the matriarch of the family. And Emerald has been hanging back, keeping a bit of distance between herself and the family. A little bit unusual for her. There's a bit of a tension that she's carrying at the moment.
Well, I think that would be a good idea. If they haven't heard of this threat yet, it might be good to add to the list
Okay.
of potential threats.
Okay. Yes, it is an extensive list. You know, this is one of the most important projects that we have done since the war ended. And of course, there's guards. There's no way anybody could get in and get, mess with what's going on. It's got a lot of eyes on it, a lot of security, a lot of thought has gone into this. So anyway.
Better safe than sorry.
Better safe than sorry. And so she walks with you across the floor of this place. That's like a nice, like parquet sort of wood floor, different colors to create some interesting patterns. And the 2 parents, your future parents-in-law, are standing there in discussion with someone else, and then Trillian sees Emerald, and you move over and turns around. Ah, Emerald, my dear, like steps up, embraces her, gives her a kiss on the cheek. Cornelius, and embraces you warmly. This is a person who has welcomed you into the family since the matchmaking had happened and since your 2 families were coming together. And Pierre is still in conversation with someone who looks official in a nerdy way, like possibly one of the scientists or nano sort of mages who are architecting this. What's going on? Welcome. You're a little bit late, but
I apologize for that. There was some going ons in town.
You missed my husband's speech.
Oh.
It's no worry. I'm sure he'll be happy to give it to you at breakfast tomorrow.
Of course.
But it is.
I can't wait to hear it.
Yes. Well, this is such a wonderful day for our city, and I'm so glad that you could be with us on this. Our families coming together is going to be. It's honestly, it's something that I think should have happened a long time ago, but to have your family and what they bring in from the military and our family in the council and in government to bring these 2 together, I think it's going to provide us with such a wonderful foundation to move forward.
Definitely. This marriage is going to be so good for both of our families.
There's a strong squeeze on your shoulder from Emerald, who's just sort of holding you by the shoulder and is like, yes.
Can't wait for the big day.
No, we can't wait for the big day. Mother, it's Cornelius actually has something important to talk with Father about. And Trillian says, oh, okay, one moment. And she turns around, Pierre, Cornelius is here and he has something to say. And Pierre finishes up with the person who he's talking with. One moment, yes, thank you. I'm sure everything is great. Thank you for the update about what's happening. And I say, go ahead. You know better what's going on with the all of the setup. At this point, my hands are off. And he turns around and he turns, Cornelius, it's so good to see you. And you're a big guy, and he still looks down on you from his height. He is tall. His sort of like long face, gaunt not from ill health, but just from his age. I'm delighted you're here. You missed my speech, by the way. I was looking for you in the audience. I had some things to say I thought you might like. Well, of course, well received. Everybody, it was just an introduction for the assembled ministers and other people who have been attached to this project to talk about why this is important for the city, of course, of which you all know, all of that. I've told you this before, but if you have any questions, I am happy to answer or whatever I can do for you.
Well, I just wanted to quickly go over the security measures taken for this evening, just because I came across a possible threat today, and I know that you have taken so many threats into account already, and I just want to make sure that we are as thorough as possibly can be for the safety of this entire event.
Of course. Well, with your experience as a medical responder and your war experience, I would, of course, be happy to hear from you. We've had the inspectors do like a risk assessment of the project and everything. But if there's some insights you have,
well, I just want to make sure you're as up to date as possible on potential mishaps in the evening. Not that I assume that anything will go wrong.
One moment, Cornelius. We are hearing from a little bug in my ear that you sound as if you're being recorded by a different microphone. So can we check the level of Cornelius's microphone? Yes. Thank you very much.
Did this solve the issue?
Look at your mic pack also.
It's on.
It's on? Okay, that's cool. Great. We're doing our best, thank you.
If I talk now, can you hear me? Okay.
Okay, we have it good here.
A good time to mention maybe that if you'd like to donate to the stream so that we can afford a tech person and maybe our own equipment, we have a Ko-Fi page.
Ko-Fi?
I think it's Ko-Fi, but I don't know. Anyway, Ko-Fi.
And I think it's Ko-Fi.
Yeah. We'll physically battle it out at some point.
Yeah. But if you reach our donation threshold for that battle.
Yeah. If you want to see me and Jacob duke it out,
it's going to be
man to man, fully naked.
Greased.
Donate now.
Greased up.
Okay, greasing up. That's a stretch goal. I think. Yeah. And if you want
I did my
fully
best.
waxed as well, we can make that all happen.
All right. Thank you, chat. If you have more feedback on this, please.
Or more ideas for our battle to the death.
Yeah.
or to what? That's the top stretch goal.
To the death.
Yeah.
What's that, like €20?
Let's not undersell ourselves. No. Figure it out later.
All right. Yes. I hope that I can hear you better. Yes. Sorry, my hearing aid. I had to just adjust it, and it's.
Tech these days.
When I was quite young, I was in the artillery, and we weren't as smart as people are these days, and I blew my eardrums completely out. It hasn't affected me in any way. The noggin is still sharp as a tack, which is why I'm leading probably the most important project that we've done in a generation, aside from not getting, almost winning the war.
That's a very important project too. Anyway, as I was saying, I came across a conspiracy of sorts there's a group of radicals
Oh my.
under the influence of of a certain poetry that seem to be upset with the ecological consequences that the harvest engine has.
Trillian, my dear, this is why I've always said we should probably just ban poetry outright. And Trillian is like, my love, it's not practical legally to do that. Practicalities. Well, so there's a band of angry radical poets, and they want to, what are they going to do?
Well,
Go and stand up and recite verse at us, or
no, there seems to be some talk from various people, including the local shelter, that they may have a herd of pigs.
a herd of pigs.
A herd of pigs. Sorry, I'm just
I'm
my
so
own-
What are
sorry.
you doing? Passing notes at the table.
Just this is my hearing aid. I
Yes.
also in the war.
we're good.
Yes.
Bad left there. Is it good? Does
Yes,
okay.
now we are getting you.
Okay.
Amazing.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah. So there may be a herd of dangerous pigs.
This sounds so made up.
And I have this from the reliable sources that this may be used by the rat. I know this sounds a little bit.
Cornelius,
Yes.
I would like. This is your DM speaking.
Oh, this.
I would like a some kind of persuasion roll. This would be an intellect task.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I use my positive social interaction because I'm such a charming man?
You absolutely can.
Okay.
So this is a distinguished man who's been working on this. To convince him of this would be a challenging task, which is a target of 15. Because you are so charming, this reduces your target to 12. And if you wanted to spend effort, you could drop your target to 9. And that would be intellect effort.
I think I'm going to.
Okay.
I think I'm going to use my
And how
intellect
many
pool.
points of intellect does that cost you?
It would cost me 3, bringing my pool down to 7.
Down to 7. This
I don't have a lot of intellect.
no. Folks, this is how Numenera works. It's we roll a 20-sided die, but instead of, for example, Dungeons and Dragons, which we compare everything to, instead of adding a modifier, we set a target and then we use various skills and various spending effort and energy from different pools to try to lower the target number, and then we roll straight on the die, usually not adding anything. So your target is 9.
8.
It hovered on 10.
It hovered on
Amazing.
10.
I saw that journey. Very good. Love a good story from the dice. Sorry, someone in the chat says a group of pigs is actually called a precinct, not a herd. Thank you very much. And Cornelius's voice is A-okay. We got it. Thank you, chat. Well, look, Cornelius. This is, to some degree, my life's work. And as much as I appreciate a prank and a jibe as the next fellow, this is, to be really honest, it's a tall tale. You had me at the Radical Poets because we did, several years ago, have an uprising of leftists in our city, and we managed to control that. But then, herd of pigs, it took a turn into fantasy. And to be honest, I appreciate it. We can have a laugh about it later.
Mr. Reader, this is a very serious matter. I have
serious.
you know this, I have a lot of background in goings on and
Yes.
A PhD.
I have a PhD in goings
Is that so? When I was a student, there was not a course of study. Had it been that, I would have signed up for it. A full PhD, you say? Pray tell, was the title of your thesis? In goings on.
My thesis research was in, screwing about, gathering, bits and pieces here and there. And that's what I did for 4 years.
Scurrying about, a topography of the...
You've read it.
Yes. This is yours.
Yes,
okay.
that was mine, exactly.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Marijne et al. Well then. Look, I will take it under consideration, and I'll alert the inspector, the general of the inspectors, and the head of our security to keep an eye out for a roving band of pigs. And
I know it sounds nonsensical, but I appreciate just a warning, a heads up.
oh, sorry, I appreciate it, but Emerald and Cornelius there, and he points across the hall. I see our youngest over there, and he points across the hall to really this very young woman standing at the other end, looking a little bit. He says she looks a little lost, so it would be great if you could run along and show her where the refreshments are, and I have some important business too. And he's, Trillian, I think we must be going. Join us later in the booth at the Respitorium. Thank you.
I will
have
see
a great day.
you then.
Goodbye, Emerald. And Emerald is just sort of sitting there like, Cornelius, that I don't know. And there's Sapphire on the other end of the room, as Pierre has pointed out.
Cornelius just kind of hangs his head and then goes, all right. And then points his head over to Sapphire.
Cornelius, I don't know if I've been more embarrassed by you. Let's go to my sister, and we'll leave it at that for now.
Oh God, I really hope these pigs show up, otherwise.
And you walk across the hall toward her, and we move over to another person who's having possibly a bit of a rough day, a lot of driving around, finally first wrangling a wild pig in a warehouse, then having a drink and finding out that maybe this is part of a conspiracy, talking to the inspectors, heading back to the animal sanctuary to drop off the pig, then heading back into town in his little, essentially hovering junk bucket that rattles along. You come back up into Sildefen. You see the valley walls rising above you. You see the hill of Sildefen with all of its tiers cut by the spiraling roads that climb it toward the top. You can see even the Respitorium, the sort of planetarium-like structure on the side of the hill. A structure left over from ages long past, maybe the previous civilization, maybe two previous civilizations before, nobody really knows, but now repurposed for other means. And you know that you have an appointment to go there tonight with your ex-wife, Janice.
Quick question.
Yeah.
These electro pigs, power pigs, what are they actually called? I never wrote it down.
Oh, okay.
Barbarissa.
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 Yeah.
Wasn't there another title for them?
Electropig sounds good.
Yeah.
Electropig.
Electropig sounds like a superhero.
Yeah. Or a DJ.
Yeah.
So you're heading. You head into town. You arrive at the office of the law office of Gogari, Halprin, and Stevenson. Your ex-wife. The papers are in process right now. Janice Halprin is a lawyer here. It is built into an old row. It's almost like a row house, like if you think of those old London brick buildings with the steps going up and like the thick banisters and this fancy door. The door is and the banisters are gloss black painted, and there is a wall gleaming brass sign with the engraving of the name of the practice. And you knock on the door and you enter, and Janice is yes.
I've changed, haven't I? I'm wearing my.
What are you wearing?
Okay.
This is important. What would Dale Briscoe have?
He has one suit
Yeah.
and one presentable shirt and tie combo,
Uh-huh.
but all of those have been kind of balled up in different places in his apartment since the last he wore them.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a rumpled suit. He has to wear a belt with it now because he's put on a few waist sizes since the last formal event he was at.
Uh-huh.
And so yeah, if you were able to see under his belly that was sagging over, you'd see there's like a little gap where you can see his underpants with the belt just going across because he can't button his pants up anymore.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the suit's a little ill-fitting. It's a little short on him. As I
Yeah.
say, he's put on a couple of pounds since the last time he wore it. It's a non-iron shirt, but you gotta hang them up, you know. So it's a little bit wrinkled as well.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got that kind of wonky schoolboy tie knot. Normally Janice would always tie his tie for him. He could
Yeah.
do this kind of. It was obviously still tied up when he last got it. He just put it back on and straightened it.
Mm-hmm.
He's like spatting his hand and got his hair in his 5 o'clock shadow. He's been wrangling electro pigs all day, and he hasn't had time to properly prepare. But he did get a little spritz of the last remaining bit of aftershave that she got him for his birthday a few years ago.
That's nice.
Yeah. Which reminds him of happier times together with Janice.
You go in. It's a known place for you. It's a fancy interior, like nice moldings, good plaster on the walls, heavy desks and furniture. In here, there's a secretary, Laura, and she's just sort of in there. And she tells you, Janice is in just finishing up a meeting. Dale, I think she's expecting you though. You're in the book, and asks you to wait.
Sure thing. Okay.
As you're waiting, one of the partners, Logan Stevenson, pokes his head out, and you know Logan because. How to say, you've got, correct me if I'm wrong, a little bit of a money flow problem.
Mm-hmm.
And some of that money comes from Janice. But then it goes back out the door to a moneylender by the name of Bailey, who is a well-established entrepreneur in the city, but you don't deal with him directly. You deal through Logan.
Wait, I'm paying back this moneylender via Logan?
Yeah.
Does Janice know about this?
No.
Okay. Oh boy.
But Logan knows.
Okay.
And he pokes his head out. Hey!
Oh, hey buddy. What's up?
Dale!
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. You got a minute?
I don't know. We gotta get moving pretty soon. We got this event coming up. I ain't got much time to talk, but I'll catch you next time. I ain't forgotten about our
No.
arrangement.
I think, Laura, correct me if I'm wrong, Janice has a couple more minutes in that meeting. Dale, I think you got a couple minutes. Can I?
I just want, Laura, have you got an iron in here? I feel like my shirt could use a quick once over. What do you think? How am I looking?
It sounds like you're trying to spin this so that you don't have to go into the office to be alone with Logan. So
Right.
I would like you
picked
to
up on that?
roll a persuasion check.
Okay,
for
what do I
me.
need?
This is a because everybody is operating in sort of like clandestine levels and nobody really wants to tip their hand too hard. This is it's difficult. It's target 12.
I'm gonna do a flat roll.
Great.
16.
16. Laura says, yeah, we got something. Just look, Logan, let me take care of this because Janice is gonna flip her shit if he's all like, if he looks like this when he walks into that office. It's not gonna be pretty for anyone. So,
okay.
and Logan is like, then Dale,
Yeah.
I'd love a word with you when you get a chance.
Yeah, I mean, you know where to find me. Been so busy lately.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Have you?
But I got you. Don't worry. Things are going well.
Okay.
The shelter, I feel like these things come in waves, and I feel like we're due for a benefactor or something like that.
In fact, I had something I wanted to talk to you in that line.
Great. That sounds positive. I look
think
forward
so.
to
Right.
being able to find the time to discuss this with you.
Laura's standing there like, I don't quite know what you're talking about, but look, I have a thing for you, okay?
Do I need to take my shirt off here? You don't mind. We're all...
No, we have, look, it's kind of weird, like some delves, they were going into some like site that they found several years ago, and I found this in the market. So, and she like takes you down the hall toward the bathroom area, and there's like a little bathroom closet, and in there's a cabinet, and she opens the cabinet, and there's like this, it looks almost like a tripod device in a way, and she says, look, it's really a cool thing that we found, and she just like flips it open, and like, she's like, turn around, and she puts it on across your shoulders and then down your back.
Oh.
And it's sort of like several poles, and they kind of like have these little flared hands on them that are actually decorative, like little decorative silver hands. And she puts it on your shoulder, and they go and like grip you, and the other one down, and it grips like the seat of your pants.
It was you.
And she says, hang on, I just gotta, the hard part is getting these, because only a certain type fits. And she pulls out this little piece of like recovered iotum. It's kind of like, essentially like a magical residue or battery or piece of an arcane engine from an era long past. Nobody would know how to make it these days, but things draw power from them. And she says, these ones, this is the hard part. But I think so that you look good enough for Janice, this is worth it. She pops it into the back where all the legs of this are jointed, and you feel this warm tickle go down your back, and then all of a sudden all of the clothes on your body just wrinkle free.
Would you look at that?
Very nice. And she pulls it off, and there's like and you can see the little device that she slotted in here. It's giving off like a little bit of like steam of a kind of bluish color. And warm? Okay, yeah, but it's used now, so, and she tosses it in a little bucket that has just a couple of these in it and folds this back up. And then there's, you hear the door in the office moving. Somebody says, all right, see you, Janice, and walks out, and the door slams, and just sounds like you're up, so.
All right, Lyra, I owe you one. You're a lifesaver. If I ever come across any of them doohickeys on my own adventures, I'll pay you back.
I mean, if it doesn't show up in the books, then that keeps me happy too. So if you can just replace it.
I got you.
Yeah. Well, good luck.
Okay, let's do this.
And so you walk into this, the office, and there's Janice. Sorry, I just bumped the microphone. There's Janice, and she's putting away a couple of files, and she is ready to go. She's in her 50s, like you. Skin shades of light brown, thick, wavy hair kept relatively short and held back in a decorative headband. She's starting to get like a little bit of that thickness and sag in her cheeks from just age, but she's got this deep intelligence and wit in her eyes. It's one of the things that drew you to her in the first place. She's wearing a dark purple suit with a cut that accentuates her curves, and she's got, the shirt is ruffled in the front, and simple polished stone necklace. And she's reaching, You walk in and, Dale, I'm glad you can make it. Sorry to keep you waiting. She reaches for like a coat with like a heavy fur collar.
That's okay, honey.
You
That's
look-
okay, Janice. I'm sorry. I'm still.
It's okay.
All right.
You look good, surprisingly. I mean, it's still that old suit, but I don't think I've ever seen it without a wrinkle before.
Well, yeah. I mean, I just thought this is a special occasion. I mean, you look amazing as ever. You know, I
Thanks.
wouldn't want to show you up or whatever.
It's flattering.
You know, and this is important to me. We gotta present a unified front this evening.
We do. Yes, my parents will be there tonight.
Both of them?
Mm.
Okay. Oh boy.
I just, look, Dale, I know this is hard for us, but my father is 85. He's not gonna be around much longer, probably. So if we just power through this together, we'll get there. I've handed a bunch of our paperwork off to Logan. He's taking care of it for me. It's just pro bono, really between friends. And so, but I just have to let you know, my mother knows. She found out last week. I didn't want to tell her, and of course she's keeping it from father, because if he found out it would, I don't know. Anyway, she said it was because we didn't go through a matchmaker that we...
Oh, come on.
Look, it was fun while it lasted, but then it didn't anymore.
Well, yeah,
And
it lasted quite a while.
yes,
Hey, we've been through this, It ain't gonna work, right? You made that clear.
yeah,
I'm here for you tonight. I'll do whatever you tell me to do. Let's just make this work. I can turn on the charms for a couple hours.
good. But I'm here for you too, as well. I think there's someone I want to introduce you to who might have an angle on some avenue that will bring money in for the shelter,
Okay.
like in a real way.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
That's really positive. There's something I wanted to mention to you as well briefly about this evening.
Okay.
So, this is going to sound real dumb. But I had a call today.
Okay, you're this when you started off that way.
I'm just preparing you. Look, my line of work is not conventional, okay? It's less about paperwork and more about extracting weird and wonderful animals from unusual situations. That's my calling.
Yes.
So, I got a call. Went to a warehouse. There was a Barbarissa infestation. These little
What is that?
it's like a little wild pig, but these are a
Okay.
special type of wild pig. We call them electro pigs, or power pigs in the biz. So when a bunch of them get together, they can feed off certain types of energies generated from different sources. Not a huge amount is known about them.
Okay.
I have reason to believe that there are a group of dissidents who have freed a precinct of these pigs and are planning to unleash them at the Respitorium.
Is that the name for a group of?
I believe so.
Okay.
I have it on good
Interesting.
authority.
I hadn't heard that before.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like these collective nouns is like people just make one up that sounds interesting
Yes.
or funny, and
Yeah.
if it sticks, it sticks. Most of them I think are pretty dumb, but this one, Precinct of Pigs, it's kind of flows.
That's true. You would know better than me.
Like I said,
I'm fluent in legalese. You know the animals. So
I know the animals. So, I mean, I don't know. Let's just. I got a couple buddies who are working on this. I've alerted the authorities.
Okay.
They don't.
Good.
They're not taking the threat seriously. But I just, it would mean a lot to me if you could stick close to me.
What do you mean they're not taking it seriously?
Well, okay. What I just explained to you sounds fucking ridiculous, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Sounds ridiculous to the cops as well.
Okay. Well,
and they're
I
not
mean-
the most proactive. The local precinct.
hey. They're you're right. There's room for improvement. But, look, did you bring evidence or anything like that? Like,
I don't have any physical evidence except for the Barbarissa that I found.
just one?
Yeah, no, and there were tracks. I didn't take any pictures or anything, but there were tracks of a full herd. I don't know how they've made their way through town without people noticing them. Look, all I'm asking, Janice, from you is that you stick by me, stick close to me, and if anything happens, just grab onto me. I'll get you out of there safe, okay? Because I don't want anything to happen to you or anything like that.
Okay,
I
Dahlia.
couldn't forgive myself if you got hurt.
This is worrying.
I know.
Honestly,
I wanted to ask you not to go at all, to call the whole thing off, but I know when you got your mind set on something, it's not. Yeah,
possible. This is the biggest
I realize.
project.
This is a terrorist threat is what I'm talking about here, okay? There's a credible terrorist threat.
When you say it like that, I will have to take it seriously. Of course, if anything happens, I'll stick close and I'll do whatever it is. If there's anything I can do to help you, I want to do that.
Just keep your eyes and ears open. If you hear the trundling of hooves and a chorus of squealing,
I'll be sure to tell you.
Yeah. My hearing ain't so good no more.
I'll see. Okay, this is everyone. Everyone has just lost their hearing from.
I know.
Okay.
I mean, ear protection was not a priority.
No, winning was, and so.
Yeah, we nearly won.
When people say it like that, it sounds bad.
I mean, it's not great.
Well, we were at the brink of a complete surrender of their armed forces when there was an uprising here. The council building was occupied by reactionaries and revolutionaries, and then in the streets a counter-revolution started up, and so the generals marched the army home to take care of the population here. They made a deal that ended the war. So it's hard to say we almost won it. We ended it on our terms.
Yeah, sure.
We just didn't fully disarm Belfastia.
No. And we may never.
I should hope we never get into a war like that again.
Absolutely. It was a dark time for all of us.
Well, thanks for the heads up on this. And thanks also for coming with me. I know I've put you through a lot recently, and I think maybe we could just try to enjoy the evening.
I'll try. I'm also going to try to not drink too much. So those two things are hard to balance sometimes. But I'm your rock tonight. Don't worry. Don't worry, Janice.
Is it helpful if I remind you not to drink?
Yeah, actually, yeah. Because that's my in these social situations, I get fidgety. I need to be doing something with my hands,
Because that was one of the things we fought about when.
I remember.
Yeah. But I'll do it.
Yeah, just a little quiet word. Maybe, if someone's going around with flutes of champagne, maybe just
remind them that you're.
Just grab me a
sober
sparkling
these
water
days.
or something.
Okay.
Basically the same thing.
I will get your back.
I got yours.
Thank you.
You ready?
Yes, let's go.
All right.
She offers you her arm.
I'll take it.
You walk out onto the street. And then we cut over to deep inside the Respitorium. Who first? Okay. Ruta Laskava.
Yes.
You are, if I recall correctly, halfway into the planetary projection machine that is used when this place is a planetarium, because you have supposedly or accurately, like actually dropped or flung earrings into
Yes.
this machine.
Yeah, right now there is like this whole like fabric and skirt situation, like
Yeah.
legs in the air, like all of that.
And legs in the air, your body inside this machine. There are two armed guards with swords at their sides, metal armor, metal collars like helmets that they've left on the floor, who are trying to help you out. There is one sort of like usher, unarmed guard from the outside who walked you in to show you the inside because you were very persuasive, and you are crying out that your earring is in the bottom of this thing. What's going on?
Like I'm just distracting them.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh no, the other direction. You have to join me here. I could use some light.
One of the guards says, "Do we have a torch? Get a torch. We gotta...
Ticklish.
Ma'am, you got to get out of there. We'll tell the technicians that they can get we'll find the earring later, but you have to leave. You are not supposed to be in here. We don't know who you are." You feel hands grab your like hips
I'm gonna
legs
angrily be like, do you understand that my whole outfit works together with those earrings? How can I show up on this function without them?
Ma'am, we don't care. That is not our problem. You are moments away from being arrested. They're trying to pull you out. You are being pulled out of this machine unless you're going to try to hold on.
I would like to fake stuck in it.
Okay, you're going to fake stuck in it. Make a might check for me. This is difficulty. There's 2 of them on you. This is a challenging task. Your target number is 15.
Can I add seduction to this?
If you want to
No, lies.
describe how seduction is going to...
I don't know the rules of Twitch. Of how to
Nothing
describe
explicit, please.
This.
But you're wearing a dress or a skirt or something.
Yes. I will use my effort for this.
Yeah.
To lower this to
Great. So it's a 12.
That's a 12 exactly.
12 exactly. You hold on in there. You're like, they're like, come on, ma'am, you have to get out right now.
There is a problem. I don't think I can.
Oh, is she stuck? Are you stuck in there?
I think so. I think so.
Get a technician. Get someone in here. And like you hear some footsteps going on, and they like try to pull on you again. And I'm gonna offer you an intrusion.
Okay.
So the way that this works, Numenera has a mechanic called intrusions, which is sort of it takes the Deus Ex Machina ability of a DM, and it adds a reward for the players for accepting it, so that we have a little bit of negotiation around intense narrative changes and offers. The way that it works is I offer you an intrusion. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but you can take it for 2 experience points. If you accept it, you get one of those experience points and you pass one to someone else at the table. Your choice of how to justify that, or just to say, I give it to this player because I want them to have it. If you want to refuse the intrusion, it costs you 1 experience point.
I'll take your intrusion.
Great.
Yeah, and I will of course give experience point to Ratan.
Great.
I take 2.
You take 1 and you give 1. You pass 1 along.
All right.
You are in this machine. You say, wait. They're like, is she stuck? Send someone out. They put, someone puts hands on you and tries to give you another wiggle. You move, your elbow hits something in the machine. You hear, kunk, What's happening? What's going on? And all of a sudden, you are, this is a planetarium machine. It projects the images of planets into other...
Pink Floyd starts playing.
It has, yeah, a jukebox hooked up to it. This is an addition to it. This device was picked out of, this device was picked out of the ground. It was in some kind of catacomb or old facility from who knows how many thousands or hundreds of thousands of years ago. Nobody knows what it's for. Everybody knows, what this thing does that we know how to access is project planets.
Am I being projected? Is it just hot?
You feel the machine, the metal of this machine pressing against your body. It, you feel it become slowly incorporeal somehow. You fall through it onto your hands and knees, onto not the floor, not the concrete floor of the underside of the Respitorium, but onto dirt, gravel, dust billows up as you land. Cold hits you.
What the heck?
You feel, have you ever had that experience where you step outside on a very, very cold day and the cold goes right up your nose?
Yeah.
You feel your eyes water instantly and that water freezing in the corners of your eyes, and you look up across this plain of gray, dark gray, light gray, hard shadowed ground, black sky, stars, a bright blue green globe hanging in the air above you.
Does it look like our sky?
It could. How well do you know the sky? You try to take in a breath and just cold, gasping. There is air, but it is so hard to breathe here. And on here, structures, buildings, old gray pyramids and trapezoids and ziggurats and towers with balls and toruses. Weird landscape.
Oh, hello, the bigger on the inside.
You are alone here, and all of a sudden this humming, and you slam back onto the concrete floor in the middle of the Respitorium.
Found it.
Across from, right outside the machine, the guards standing there, swords drawn now. There is the technician who was running off to get someone, turned around, stumbling backward. What the hell? What was that? What did you do?
Oh, gentlemen, the swords are absolutely not necessary.
I'm afraid we're gonna have to take you under arrest for this.
Under arrest for
Yeah.
losing an earring.
We're gonna cut over to the other side of the door that these guards were on, and we have Victor Snaps standing there. Door has just closed. You have just snuck into this room underneath the main hall of the Respitorium. There is the broad open working space filled with maybe 20 technicians dressed in these kind of like cotton or cloth suits that are cinched at the wrists with gloves on their hands. They have hoods over, cinched around the face, boots on. Everything seems to be like in this clean suit environment, and they're milling about. On many of them are on a structure in the middle, which is this pillar going up to the peak of a pyramidal ceiling. And on this structure are all kinds of nodules and hanging sort of balls of metal and mesh and glass and crystal with tubes coming in and being woven in and out and carefully controlled up into each of the faces of the pyramid. And in the back wall, against the back wall, there are 4 large glass-like tubes, empty, that are, the glass is green, like an emerald green around them, large, like several people could fit inside one of these comfortably. And you are standing in this room, you've never seen a device like this before, despite all of your background training as a nano in my land. And I just have to ask, what is going through Victor's mind as he stands here in this room, looking at this incomprehensible device with 24 people working intently on it, as Victor is not only not from here, but from one of the enemies in the war. He sounds like a foreigner. He sounds like a Mylander. He is a Mylander, but nobody knows what he was, who he was. And now you're standing here with the intent of having entered this room to somehow sabotage some part of this project so that it can't be further sabotaged by these dissidents. Your intent to sabotage this, knowing that this is one of the biggest pieces of work and most important projects that Sildefen has been doing after the war. What is going through your mind as you stand here at this door?
So I think just as he enters this room, like the massiveness of the room is like just takes him aback for a second. And like he's been running through like on adrenaline till now. Like he saw a door open, he ran in and got through the door, and now he's standing there just being like, whoa.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So I think so I'm still having I'm concerned about this person who I think that I have somehow pushed into taking this very drastic course of action, and I want to make sure I feel somehow responsible for it. But at the same time, I'm trying to understand the danger I put myself in.
And you're talking about Lovin, your person who describes himself as your disciple almost, who's followed your poetry, who came to you and said, hey, we're doing something because of you inspiring us. And so you feel that you have to do something. But now, standing here in this room, knowing who you are, is there a hesitation that comes?
I think there is a hesitation. Like I'm definitely looking immediately for how I can conceal myself the best.
Yeah.
And my goals are to like try and find out what exactly is going on here, to understand it a little bit better, so that I can further my aims of sabotage in some way. And I'm also concerned about Ruta outside.
Yeah.
So yeah, all of this is going on right now, but first on the list is conceal myself.
There are crates of tools, equipment, materials. You rolled a good stealth roll before you came in here, so it's no problem to continue that and to sort of slip behind one of these crates and think for a moment about what you're going to do and observe. And this is where I'm going to offer you an intrusion.
Okay.
So 2 XP if you take it, or you can deny it for 1.
I think I'll take it.
Great. So pass 1 of those points to someone else at the table.
Okay. I'll pass it back to Ruta.
Okay.
We're going to need a lot of rerolls, I feel like.
You are there, feeling hidden. You had a good stealth roll, so mechanically you're hidden. But with this intrusion, you hear footsteps. Someone comes over to this crate. You hear clanking, shifting. They open it, pull out something, clink, clink, like it's got some glass thing. Sounds like something dangling and bumping against itself, tink, 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 and then all of a sudden it stops, and you feel attention on you, and you look over your shoulder, and there is a person wearing this white fabric suit, looking over the box at you, and they see you, and they smile, and they hold up some fingers in a salute to you. It is, as you described in one of your poems about looking through a new lens, and people started to make an idea of looking through a lens, and does this. Motions to you to step aside into like a side corridor you haven't seen before, like just a little alcove, and steps in there with you. Hey, they're holding like some device. It's got, you know, more of these sort of like glass bulbs on it, and then these hanging woven metal tubes coming down, each with like a little threaded end to go into some part of this machine. And they step into this alcove with you. What are you doing here?
It was a total last minute thing. Logan came to me this morning, and I snapped out of it. I knew I had to take action. So yeah.
Make me just, what is your intention with this?
I'm trying to say, I mean, I think this person is one of the instructionists, so I want to pretend like I'm on their side.
Yeah.
For now, like I'm being part of their scheme to try and figure out what exactly it is they're trying to do, so that I can try and sabotage it.
Yeah. Yes, Loven mentioned that he was gonna meet with you this morning. I'm glad it inspired you. You've inspired us.
Yeah, I didn't think that, you know, I thought like we should just try and fix ourselves before we try taking action in the world, but I think what you're doing here is admirable.
We've been doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's clear in your writing.
I
think the question is, we have a plan.
Yeah.
And
he was very vague about the specifics, except that I should be here, and I've managed to find my way in, but I'm not sure what I need to be, how I can help.
make me essentially a deception check.
Yeah.
The difficulty is 12 on this.
I think I will spend effort to reduce that. So I think that was my intellect.
That's intellect
12.
effort. Yeah. What kind of, as you're doing this persuasion, is there anything that you do to try to gain this person's trust? Anything specific that you'd like to do? Sort of to flavor your effort that you're spending.
I think. I know, like I think I'm just I'm going. I think I'm usually like a very sort of like I'm sort of a bit waffly. I think I look him like straight in the eye and I put my hand on his shoulder and I'm like, let's do this.
All right. Your difficulty is 9.
13.
13. Well, this is, to be honest, a great surprise. We'd been meeting, but we didn't know if you were fully on board. But to hear that you are is great. Look, we want this to work. So I'm here, but we also want to make a what do you call it? A demonstration. Yeah. So I'm not in that part of the plan. All I know is that my job is to make sure that when the ceremony is starting, the doors are open and that the people who are bringing in the protest can do it.
Okay. Wait, which door are you talking about?
The
one that I just came.
No, upstairs.
Okay.
There's an access door.
Okay.
And we have the part of the ceremony, we're going to be bringing in the shockstone.
Yeah.
And putting it in the machine and turning it on, and the cross de moro are all set up there, and we're going to have them be energized with everyone watching. It's part of the harvest engine.
Yeah.
And then when that happens, we're going to have a protest. We're
Right.
going to tell them, hey, this is we're against this as a society. You're doing this without us, and we're going to have a sit-in and a discussion.
Yeah. And that's, I think.
I don't know what that part is about.
Okay.
All I know is my job is to make sure that this can happen.
Okay. And are you the only one from our group in?
No. There's several of us here.
Okay. And can you tell me who they are?
No, I can't.
Why am I not?
Because I feel like the more you know as our leader, the more compromised you are. And
good
it's
thinking.
actually really
Yeah. No.
not great that you're
I'm
here
not.
right now.
Well, I'm not the best at this. I'm new to this, okay? Like, I'm not a boots on the ground kind of guy.
Did Loven,
Speaks like the true leader.
but Loven told you to come here?
Yeah, he told me that I could help with the discussion
Okay.
at the end, so I'm here for that part of it.
Do you want to wait backstage then?
Yeah, I think.
You want to come in with us?
I can go into the main room and I can.
Or
Yeah.
do you want us to, because I heard you had an invite,
I do have an invite.
so we could call you down from the...
But I just wanted to make sure. I wanted to see the space. I wanted to
Okay.
get an idea of like how exactly I can like reach the most number of people in like I want to prepare. I'm a performer.
Suddenly, in this moment, gravity stops. You feel your stomach, like, it doesn't drop, it like lifts. You feel your feet lose connection with the ground. The guy is like, whoa, what's going on? And then momentarily you're starting to float and hang in midair. People on the scaffolding around this tower who are attaching wires start to like drift off, people grabbing onto these, and then all of a sudden gravity hits again and everybody tumbles back to the ground. One person dangling from a tube, and like this gas spraying off, and all of a sudden people are running around. Simultaneously, Ruta, outside, the guy who was running to get a torch to try to look inside this machine turns around and he's like, "Where's the other guy?" And the guards are like, "The other guy?" And one of them shouts across the room, "Hit the alarm!" And then you hear ding, 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 ding. There's all of a sudden this alarm goes off. Ding, 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 ding in this room. People start to like look around. There's been, you feel it in your sensitivity as a nano, this wave of etheric magical disturbance washed through this room, through this sensitive piece of equipment and engine, and everybody starts to basically run around, people running to help the guy who's dangling up there, other groups coming together. What's going on? What was that? Who knows anything? And this guy looks at you, he's like, what was that? Do you know what that was?
No,
Did you do that?
No, I have no idea what that is. But like, listen, they're coming for us, and I need to be hidden. Okay, so do you have one of those things that you're wearing? Like, you know where they are. So
You have to get out of here right now. If they find you, you're gonna be thrown in prison or something.
What we do?
You got to get out of here.
Okay, is that a way through this room into the exhibition room?
That's deeper into the facility.
Yeah, but I feel like there's not going to be people there. There's going to be people down here, right?
Tell me what your ideal state of this is.
I would like to get into where I
Into
think the exhibition room where I think people are going to be coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like cause some sort of disturbance there.
Okay. You do want a uniform?
Yes.
Okay. Make me a persuasion roll. Again, the difficulty is 12.
So,
With this
I think
guy.
I'll try to roll it again.
Great. 20. Natural 20?
Natural 20.
Natural 20. That is a major effect. It's a critical success, so it gives us a major effect in Numenera. It's not combat, but we can give you some something. He says, yeah, it's actually really easy to get there. In the alcove, he opens a little like locker, pulls out one of these suits. He's like, put this on right now. You put the suit on, and then he takes you. He says, "Look busy," and you run across part of the floor to stairs. And he says, "Up there, I have to help down here. Mm-hmm. You go up 3 flights." Mm-hmm. And then he slams the door behind you, turns around. Ruta,
Where did the poet go?
You are surrounded. There are 2 guards who have their swords drawn around you. They're saying, "I'm sorry, ma'am, you're under arrest. We don't know what that was, but you did something in the machine. You're not supposed to be here." And they're pulling out.
Are they security or are they police? Are they guards?
They are. They are not police like street police, but they are special sort of military security forces. One of them is pulling out some sort of like bands to put on your wrist. Ma'am, you're gonna have to.
Oh dear.
Please.
If that's the goal, you don't have to. Okay, sure.
Please don't make this hard for us.
I will grease my face in this. I don't want to blow out my cover, and I'm like, okay, I know that Victor is inside, so I have like my provocation to see what is gonna happen as a result of Victor being there.
Yeah.
I will not resist. I will try to talk myself out of it, but not with multiple people.
There are several people around here. And the guy, he puts these cuffs on your hands. They sort of lightly pat you down. Do you have your pistol on you?
Fuck, I do. Hidden. As I'm being patted down, I'll be like, whoa. No, this is not. I want to like.
Sorry, would you like I get a female colleague to do this?
Yes.
Okay. But we're gonna get you somewhere safe. And he turns around. He's like, Richardson, can you? Shouts. There's like a third, a fourth, a fifth guard in the room now. People in these white suits are starting to come out. Like, what happened? What was that? Someone comes out with like an instrument. Who's like I'm getting readings from here. It must have come from here, and like they're starting to figure out. The machine was activated. One of them flags down the guards. They're like, was she involved? And like comes over. What did you do? And it's this person like sort of anonymous. You can only see their face. Sort of like a flat nose, big cheeks, and a bit older person, feminine maybe, but in this sort of like androgynous, puffy suit, comes over and is like, What did you do?
What do you mean? What do I do? You have this equipment laying around.
She was in the machine. Why were you in the machine?
Why don't you have railing around it?
Who even are you? Why were you poking your head in the machine?
Oh, I'm Ruta Laskava. I write romance novels.
The one of the guards points and is like, points to the usher who brought you in. He's like, this person brought her in. The usher comes over. I'm sorry, I was just giving a tour. I didn't know anything could happen. And this scientist person turns to them. Do you have any idea what has just happened? And the person says, no, I don't. Do you? I have no idea. The scientist is like, no, we don't either, but everything is so sensitive.
Do you? I want to provoke her to explain us.
Make me like a persuasion roll, difficulty 9 for this person.
17.
17. They turn to you. No, I don't know what happened, and that's what freaks me out. You hit something in that machine. We lost gravity. We don't know what else could have happened. Look at this. She holds up this device. It's like this block. It has a sort of like a piece of glass on it that has some
that
lines
looks very
waving
smart.
on it. The readings are all off, and the equilibrium has been knocked out of context here.
I don't
It's
know.
bad.
I don't know what that means.
The soldiers turn to her and they say, do you need anything from this woman? No, I don't. She doesn't know what happened. Do whatever you need to do. And just like turns away from you. And the soldiers start to lead you off out of this room into basically a cell. You are heading upstairs. You go up 3 flights of stairs. You get to this, it's another room that it's a large sort of like staging room. It looks like it has many boxes. It has things on carts. There's large doors at the end that lead sort of into the center of the Respitorium. And there's a number of other people up here who are sort of like talking with each other and moving around. But they're not paying you any attention at this moment. You think that you do see there's like one distinctive large crate, probably like a meter by a meter, that is metal and wood carved with intricate runes in it. Clearly, your nano instincts are like, clearly there's something heavily arcane in that box there. And then there's the double doors leading into the sort of like service doors that lead into the center of the Respitorium.
Are they also, have you heard the alarm?
There was the alarm, you could hear it, and it has ceased at this point.
Okay.
But it seems like this disturbance, this gravity disturbance, happened up here too.
Okay.
There's a couple of things, like there's a stack of boxes where half of the boxes have like tumbled over and broken open, and like some various things are spilled out on the floor and stuff like this.
I want to create even more chaos up here.
Okay.
So I am going to like run to the nearest person I can find and be like, it's all going crazy down there. We need to get out of here right now.
What is what's
I
going
don't know.
on?
I don't know. Like they said run. They said get out.
Oh my God. Okay. Full evacuation, everybody. I'm hearing full evacuation. Someone else says, I didn't get the, and he's like, no, I just heard from downstairs that something's going. What happened?
I don't know. The gravity went crazy. The readings are off. The thing magic did the thing.
Make me a persuasion roll. It would be a difficulty 12, but because of your nat 20 earlier, and because of the situation that's going on, everybody's on edge, so it's a difficulty 9.
All right.
To convince.
14.
All right, everybody out. Everybody. What do we do about the Prostamora? I don't know. Just leave them for now. If it's that dangerous, we'll clean it up later. All right. Well, the closest exit is that way. He points directly through the Respitorium.
I say, look, one of my friends is stuck back there and is going to grab him and come. You guys go ahead.
I'll stay with you. This guy who you first talked to is like, I'll help, and the other like half a dozen people start exiting, like opening up these double doors and into the center of the Respitorium toward the like civilian entrance and exit of the place.
Yeah. Okay. So I run back into the door that I just got into, and I'm going to try and like close the door behind me. I'm going to lead him in there and try to close the door
This is
behind me and
the
get back in.
stairwell?
Yes, I want to investigate this crate.
Okay.
And I need him to not be there, so like I'm
Okay.
going to try and like close the door behind him. So I'm going to go in with him.
Yeah.
Double back.
So he's like, what floor is your friend on?
Yeah, just back there in the door that I went in. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
like he goes into the stairwell
Yeah,
with
yeah.
you. He's like, so what floor is he on? Where is he?
He's just like one flight down.
Okay, and he starts heading down, and
And I tried to double back and I tried to close the door with that.
you hear, wait! And you slam the door
Yeah.
behind you. Are you doing anything to try to...
To bar the door, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, is that a lock on it, or like if there's a
Sure, there's like handles, and there's a broomstick nearby,
Yeah.
or some sort of like
slam
rod.
the broomstick inside.
Put the rod in here. Clang, clang, clang. Wait, hey man, who's your friend? Did you... The door's locked.
He's down there somewhere. Go, keep looking.
Get out of here! Get out of here! I'll do this. And he you hear this like, and then he goes, and you're in this room alone.
Yeah. So I walk up to the box and try
Yeah.
to inspect it. Is it?
It is. Make me. You have a specific ability for this as a nano.
Understanding Numenera.
And understanding Numenera, but also you have a sort of like a power.
Oh, I have a scan. Oh,
You have a
that's
scanning
right.
power, exactly.
Yeah.
So you can use your scanning power. It happens essentially within a short distance. I keep hitting the mic. We gotta fix that at some point. It happens within a short distance, basically, where you can project your consciousness. What is it? Do you want to use your scan?
I do want to.
You come up to this box, so anything within 10 feet of you. You sit there and you project your consciousness.
Yeah.
And make me a roll for understanding Numenera. We're going to say it's a DC 6. Just easy peasy for you. This is something that you've practiced over and over.
10.
10, no problem. The box is containing energy. Material that powers Numenera has various types of energy through the ages, through all of these lost civilizations. There are many different ways that they have worked the structure of reality to pull various types of energy out of it, and the groups that have managed to leave their mark on the world have done so in a big way that has lasted for millions of years. And so even the material of the world is ripe to be manipulated, and some of the material of the world has been imbued or has had energy collected. And this box is a large containment for energy. Not unusual for you. You served in the Mainlandian Navy and the Air Navy that they have. Their airships use large energy sources, and they are transported in crates like this. And inside of this crate, you can feel raw energy with a flavor of electricity, sort of like getting that ozone on your tongue.
Okay. I'm assuming that this is the energy source that the instructions were trying to like get the barbers to like interact with.
Possibly.
But at this point, so I think I've kind of like understood the plan, but I also think that the amount of chaos that's been caused is probably going to cause them to like suspend the celebration for the day, or like not let anyone in and like beef up security and stuff like that. So I'm going to try and get out. I'll start looking for Ruta, or like explore the areas outside of it and see what else is going on. Yeah, so I leave this room and I go back. The other people have gone.
Are you going?
Oh wait, hold on. Before that, I open the door and like, I finally got the door open. Come on, let's go.
The guy's not there anymore.
Guy's not there. Okay.
You hear down the stairwell, you hear a bunch of voices. There's someone up there. Lock the door. Yeah. Okay, we'll go check it out. And you hear like clanking footsteps coming
Run
up.
away.
You exit through the central room of the Respitorium. You exit through, it's basically like these access doors to a stage, essentially, and you walk out into the center of the floor that is this pyramidal shape. It's the top of what you saw from below, and there's a number of details that come to you immediately. This is an enormous round room. Theater-like balconies wrap 3/4 of the way around the entire thing, looking down into this area. And then there's a ceiling also that normally there would be projections on it, but it also is a magical, arcane focus of energy. In the center, there's all of the details of it, green and gold and velvet and carpeting and gilded, painted columns going up 3, 4, 5, 6 stories of balcony. It's an enormous space. But in the center, laying on pallet beds on each of the faces of these pyramids are humanoid figures, 2, 3, maybe 3 height of a normal person, broad, not human, differently shaped and proportioned, sort of like stockier neck, less definition in the arms, unclear exactly where the joints are with them laying in these laid out positions. Tubes, hundreds of tubes connecting into their backs, into the bottoms of their feet, into the palms of their hand, the back of the neck, the head. One singular eye, nose, mouth. No seeming ears or anything. Green skin, dark green skin, textured. 4 of them laying there. Not moving. Not clear if they're alive or dead or comatose.
Is anyone else in this room?
At the moment, no.
No, okay. I do want to scan on this, I think, as well.
Yeah. It is humanoid in that it has organs that you recognize vaguely. But like the eye, there's 1 lung, there's 1 kidney. Anything of which there would be 2 of, there's just 1 going down the center. And they are more vegetable matter than like flesh.
Yeah, okay.
And that's what you get from the scan.
Okay. Store that away for later and keep heading towards the exit.
You get out of the building. You're wearing this white suit. There is a crowd of people out here who've been sort of like lining up. You can see them sort of like 2 stories up. They've been lining up to go in at the entrance up there. Different on the next tier of the city, because the Respitorium covers multiple tiers, and you're on the ground floor of it, and people would be coming in up here and then filtering into it, and people are already lining up, and you can see a crowd of guards who are like pushing people back and asking them to go. We cut over to the this function. It's wrapped up. You and Emerald have met up with Emerald's sister, Sapphire, and she's just this like young, cocky, kind of hot-headed youth. She's got the similar gemstone aesthetic as her sibling, where her hair is blue, and instead of hair on her body, it's more of like tiny little, almost looks like crystal growth going on. And she's wearing kind of like a traditional gown. It's white with embroidered cuffs. So there's like a thickly embroidered cuffs that are like the scene of wildlife on the mountain going all the way around, and the collar to match it with birds and deer and such. And you are heading into the Respitorium. You're leaving like the government building office that's right next to it. You're coming out and walking toward it, and you see this intense disturbance there. Guards pushing people back. Technicians in white have run out. Dale, you and Janice arrive. You come to the line. A lot of people got there before you. Folks are there dressed up to the nines in their evening wear. This is really desirable event to be at, and you've had to take your public transit options here because there's no place to park your van. And so you've taken essentially the walkers. It's sort of like these six-legged crab-like walkers that have the legs come up, and the passenger cabin hangs underneath the legs, and the legs step into metal sockets in the ground. And so they follow predefined routes from long before Sildafen was Sildafen. They've just been walking up and down this hill and repurposed as these kind of like trolleys.
Are these crabs like based off of true crabs? Or
very little similarity to true crabs. Only crab-like in the fact that they have multiple legs, and you could say that they kind of move sideways. 6 legs, not 8, not 4, usually. It helps them navigate the intense height changes on the hill. You get there, you see the crowd pushing people away. You see technicians in white have been exiting the building on the tier below, on the ground level entrance to the ball of the Respitorium. And you do see Cornelius there. Cornelius with these 2 women, or 2 people, because Emerald is they, them. So you see Cornelius with these 2 people, 1 woman and one person of indeterminate gender who has green and blue. They're green and blue.
Have I seen them before? Do I know who they are?
well, you know
seen-
of Emerald.
You probably know of Emerald,
Yeah.
and
Probably piece it together.
yeah, pretty easily.
Okay, so is what we're seeing like a mad rush of people running out of the building?
Sort of like the crowd of people who would go into the building is being held back.
Okay.
And there's, it seems like people gathering outside down below, and then down on like a tier much lower than that, you can even see like a disturbance of people down there.
Okay.
Guards, people with swords,
Okay.
moving into that spot. A couple of like riflemen moving up.
Okay, I turn to Janice. I'm like, sweetheart, wait here for one moment. I'm gonna see who else needs this trolley. You're gonna go the hell home. You're gonna lock the doors. I'll come to get you later, okay?
Dale, what's going on?
I don't know. An attack is happening. I gotta deal with it. I see my buddy Cornelius over there. I think he's with some people who need some help. I'm gonna send him back with you, okay?
But they're all saying, be calm. Nothing is going on.
Well, you can be calm at home. There's not gonna be an explosion back there. Just, do you trust me?
Dale, I have to be here. I have to find my parents.
I'll look for your parents, okay? It's not safe in there for you.
I won't go in, okay? But I have to find out if my parents are here, or if they come here and an attack is
You
happening.
have to stay here, okay?
I'll stay here, okay? I'll
Stay
find
in
my
the trolley,
parents.
please.
No, Dale.
Okay, I know. I can't win an argument with you. So, all right,
I am
get yourself killed. All right.
Really?
That's what's gonna happen.
Really?
That's what's gonna happen.
Really?
Look, I told you, there's terrorists here. Okay, you wanna get involved in that? I can find your parents. Okay.
I don't see. Look, I'll wait right here at at the trolley stop. You go do whatever it is you need to do.
Okay, I'm like, okay, whatever. And I bound out towards Cornelius.
Yeah.
And Emerald and Sapphire. Y'all need a ride out. You need a ride out of here.
What is going on?
We got to go in and fix
Hang
this.
on.
We have to go in.
Yeah.
Hang on. Emerald just sort of like detaches from you and starts to like cut their way through the crowd.
Follow along.
Gosh darn it. All right. My instinct is to physically pick them up and throw them in that trolley.
Well, I think Emerald can handle themselves.
Okay. What about you?
Excuse me, I can fucking handle myself too.
Okay, we have reason to believe there's a terrorist attack happening right now. How do you hold up against gigantic electricity-based explosions? Is that something you can handle?
What even are you talking
There's
about?
a terrorist attack underway. You need to get out of here.
How
It's
do
not
you
safe.
know? Emerald was saying that you were gonna embarrass her tonight.
I think I'm about to be proven very right, which doesn't matter. It's not the point, but it doesn't matter. Sapphire, you need to stay out here and listen to the guards and go.
Emerald, I'm coming, and
Oh
just
my
like
God.
follows after.
I love them.
After Emerald. Emerald's like, just stay back. No, I'm not gonna stay back. Okay, God, come with me.
The things we do for the people that we love.
Make a perception check for me.
Us?
Yeah, you can both make it. The difficulty is going to be, it's tiered here. If you get above a 15, you'll get some stuff. If you get above a 12, you'll get some stuff. If you get above a 9.
18.
18.
8.
8. For Cornelius, there's chaos here. You're trying to just track Emerald and their sister as they're both cutting through the crowd and trying to find, as the crowd is sort of like confused people who are like, they're going forward. We want to like find out what's happening too. Like it's all people who think that they're movers and shakers in this sort of civil defense society are moving forward. Dale, you are looking over the edge, like scoping out the situation, and you see a couple of things stand out to you. You see a group of technicians who come out on the ground level. And you see them move away, and then a short time later, you see another technician exit the building wearing the same white. Something very familiar about how they move. Just, you know how when you know somebody and you know them well, you can spot their gait from quite a distance? There's that. And then the same thing happens because on the sub-level, like on the next tier down, on the access for all of the underbelly of the Respitorium, you see another person surrounded by a group of guards wearing a gown, but you recognize the sheen of the hair as Ruta, surrounded by guards, hands. Like very small figure, but you're like, I know that person, and they're surrounded by guards.
Do I see a viable route for a precinct of pigs to enter this building? That's kind of my concern right now.
Oh, Ruta be Ruta.
There are multiple. It's an enormous building.
Yeah.
And there are multiple entrances on different levels that are big enough. On the ground level and on the bottom level, the entrances are definitely big enough that large equipment can be brought in, or shipments of refreshments. Sometimes if there's like a big theater thing here, they'll have a huge amount of refreshments brought in, or set pieces, stage pieces, or other projection equipment. This place is used to put on fancy shows. But yeah, there's this like stillness outside. There's people sort of like asking the crowd, like, please back up. We're trying to figure out what's going on. You see some folks going into the building, and you see Ruta down there, and you see someone who you think is probably Victor on the next level. A couple of like flights of stairs below you.
Are you armed?
I'm guessing I have like my ceremonial sword with me, like my family sword, but I'm guessing I don't have my full bayonet with me.
Yes, you could have your ceremonial sword. Most people going into this thing would not bring a weapon.
Okay.
This is a
I
very
clearly don't.
yeah.
I basically, where is the danger? We need to run towards that. Where does it look hottest?
It's hard to tell exactly what the danger is. You can see Emerald getting into an argument with the people up front, being like, "What's going on? Tell me. Do you know who my father is?" Basically, and then you can see Victor exit the building and toward a bunch of panicking people, and then below you can see guards.
Do you mention the Ruta and Victor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like there's Ruta. I think that might be Victor.
Then let's try and get to Victor at the very least.
Okay.
He might know
let's
what's
do that.
going on.
All right. He's a level down.
Yeah,
I've got skills in climbing, running, and jumping.
I don't.
Swimming.
you can probably get down the stairs quite quickly.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right, Victor. He
Like-
seems to-
it's a terraced area, and so there's roads, but the roads are windy. But then in between the roads, there's stairs.
All right.
Um,
All right. Let's get to Victor. Stab.
Let's go.
So you head down the stairs. Victor, you're standing there. What is it that you would do after exiting the building?
I think I'm looking around for people, for Lowen, I think, at this point. I'm looking
Make
around
a perception
for
check
places.
for me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you a difficulty. Based on what you get, you'll get different information.
13.
13. You do not see Loven. You see no one who you've interacted with, because that one guy you sent downstairs, from the person who you locked in the stairwell, and the other guy who gave you the symbol, he is on the ground floor, and so what you do see is that technicians on the ground floor did not evacuate. Only the people upstairs evacuated. And they're all starting to be like, okay, what's going on? Who is a superior around? Is someone who knows something? Is there someone down there? No technicians from below have come out. Maybe something happened, and they're starting to be like, maybe we should go down and check if something bad happened. And they're starting to like form up and head down toward the bottom. And you also see a group of armed guards down there, and some of them are coming up to this level to scope out what's going on. And you see a crowd of people being sort of like pushed away from the building, like, please back up, we don't know what's going on, we need space, it's a delicate operation. And then coming down the steps, you see two people who you recognize.
Do I see Ruta down below me?
You see someone in the middle of the guards.
Okay.
And from your vantage point,
Okay.
it could be Ruta. I mean, you were with her, so you recognize the dress. And that's what's going on.
Okay. So first, I think I go to Cornelius and Dale and like catch them up on what I've been up to.
What? So you basically did this.
I do. Well, did is a strong word.
Where is this energy source?
So that is like an energy source on this level, right inside, and that's like the mechanics of the house machine in here. I try to create a disturbance so that other people, so that Lowen and his gang don't
Well, that worked.
invade. I think like they're probably going to be on higher alert now. What happened with you? Like, are they increasing security? Is it?
Well, everyone seemed very positive that they wouldn't need to increase security.
Okay.
So they know that there was a threat, but they didn't really take it seriously.
I'm telling you, it was very easy for us to get in. So like, they might not work on that.
Do I know how
Can't
close
wait to tell them
these Barbarissa need to get to this type of energy source for it to be dangerous?
Make a difficulty 15 roll. This is pretty specific information about this animal. This
Point
is
out
for-
as well that I'm good at sensing danger.
This isn't direct danger. You're not
Okay.
directly in it, but you are trained in animal handling.
Yeah.
So that would drop it to a 12.
Okay. I wanna use some effort on this.
Okay, so it's intellect.
Yeah.
Just sort of like reaching into all of your training and
So
interactions.
reduces to a 9.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's a 9.
That's a 9 exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Barbarissas consume energy sources. They want to eat it when they find it. And so if they ingest it, it will trigger the discharge from their skin, basically. Turns them into walking chain lightning.
Okay. Okay, this is dangerous. We gotta guard the area where those, where the energy source is. I'm unarmed. I can't. These are tough beasts. I don't know how we're gonna do this. We're gonna have to either convince the guards to help, or take the guards' weapons from them.
And I just want to tell you, can I describe Lowen to you?
Please.
And I will also tell you about the hand signal that they did. So like if you see someone suspicious looking, try that on them and see if they respond. Yeah, like that.
Okay.
It's 2 fingers above the brow. and
Do
one
they have
below.
weapons?
I don't know. I don't know. Probably.
And where's Ruta?
She, I don't know, like, she was with me.
There
and we
is
left her
Ruta.
Oh, yeah.
I spotted her, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
So she level below us,
God.
above us, same level?
Below. It's
Okay.
3 flights of. It's like 3 floors
Yeah.
down. So.
I'm walking and I'm thinking like, it's not going great.
Yeah.
This is like, I'm just like using this time to make a summary of like, okay, so I led a potential Mylandian spy into the Respitorium, and it would be great if I could see what they're doing, but I can't because I'm being fucking arrested.
And you are being ushered into a vehicle. Toward a vehicle.
Can I, before I'm getting into the vehicle, just like last try, sir, do you want to use that communication crystal of yours to ask the silence lady if she like knows what's on the other side of the portal?
What?
Silence
Well,
lady.
There was a science lady, science lady. Science lady.
Uh-huh.
And I remember when I did this thing, I went somewhere else.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Yeah, and this person is like, what?
I mean, there on the other side of the moon machine, there is like more
I
space.
don't even know what you're talking about.
I
You went in the machine and you turned off gravity.
look.
That's what they told me. All right, so look, lady, I'm sorry.
I'm just trying to be cooperative. Like, something happened and the science lady looked confused.
Get in the car.
Okay.
And pushes you into the vehicle. And they start moving. Are you keeping your suit on?
I am keeping my suit on
Okay.
for now, yeah.
Okay.
Are we on the same level as the energy source as described by Victor?
You are.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's in the building.
Yeah.
And are there guards surrounding the entrance to that?
On this level, there's no guards, but there's half a dozen other white uniformed people who are coming over, and they're like, that was crazy. Absolutely, like, wild, man. Nobody seems to have gotten out from down there.
Oh, they don't. Oh, yeah, because like I was the one who like, told them to get
Yeah,
out.
you ran up and you were like, get out, it's an emergency, and
There must be some sort of obstruction or something. Maybe we should go down there and check.
okay, yeah, show us where it is. Come on.
Okay.
What's the play here, Cornelius?
Victor.
Victor.
I mean, what is the play? I don't. Have I seen Ruta leaving? Yes, so Ruta has been. I've seen her.
She's gone. We can forget about her forever. She's gonna serve a lengthy sentence.
New character. Isn't your wife a lawyer?
My wife is a lawyer. I'm kidding. We'll get her out.
I'm just trying to get these people off my back.
Okay. Because I feel like we've got, bigger fish to fry. What do we think?
I am still a little bit confused about what's going on, but it sounds like we need to guard the energy source.
Yep.
Let's set the situation for you. There is, within the Respitorium, there is an energy source that you know about now. Something happened in there. The gravity shut off for a moment and then came back, and you used that as an opportunity to get deeper in and tell people to get out, which they did because it is sensitive Numenera objects, and if somebody comes in with authority and tells them that it's dangerous, people will respond. And then you see that Ruta, who had made a disturbance for you, sacrificed herself to get that disturbance. You see her being put in a vehicle with a number of soldiers around it. Sort of like scattered. They feel pretty controlled about that, but you see like one or two get in the vehicle with her, and the bit of chaos that's going on is that there's a group of technicians on your level who are trying to figure out where you saw the disturbance and are looking down on the lower level and seeing that no technicians have evacuated the building, and in fact guards are going into the building and they're like talking about, well, maybe we should be back in there to help out. And up on the upper level, guests are arriving, ready to go in. And you, up there, you see the tall figure of your father starting to cut through the crowd.
My father?
Yes, because your father is one of the architects, or not your father, sorry, of Emerald's father.
Emerald's father.
Is one of the architects of this starting to cut through. And you see the bright figures of Emerald and Sapphire up there talking to the ushers and being like, you have to let us in. And so there's lots of activity happening in many different places.
I think maybe we just go up the top and try to evacuate everyone? Because I don't know if we're going to be able to stop these. What is the entrance on the energy? Like, is there a door we can just close? Is there a broomstick around? Like,
I mean, there's a door. It does not seem...
Is there anyone still in the
Inside,
building?
no. Like,
Okay.
I just came out of an empty room.
Okay. Well, then it makes the most sense to evacuate everyone. I agree, right?
yeah, maybe close and lock that door, then go up and evacuate the people arriving, the
Yeah.
civilians.
Okay?
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'd be a little worried about locking people in, but it's probably safer if we keep that door locked so that the presumed pigs can't open.
But you can see people entering and exiting on the level below, down below.
Okay. And what is that also guests or is that?
No, it's
No, those are-
officials, like security people and stuff.
Do we need to split up and take a level each?
Yeah, we can try and convince people on all three levels there's something going on in there and that we need to evacuate the whole building.
Anyone got a preference of level to? I mean, you've proven yourself at barring doors already, but I can maybe use some of my military authority to like.
I feel like the people at the lower level have seen my face and they might recognize me if I go back down there. So
Then let
maybe people at this level seem to respect my authority.
Okay,
Yeah, I think at the top level, no one respects my authority currently, so I think I should go to the bottom level.
I'll go top level. That worked itself out. Okay.
So Cornelius starts heading down the stairs. You are sort of heading down the stairs in and around this half dozen other technicians who are saying, no one got out from the lower levels. Maybe we should go down and look. Yeah, there's guards going in. Maybe they're in trouble. Let's go help them. And they're heading down to the lower level. You're heading, you two, so Dale and Victor are heading up.
No, I'm staying
You're
at this
staying
level.
at
I'm
this
trying to
level.
herd the people who are not yet going
Okay.
down just away.
There's
from the building.
nobody else at this level.
Oh, there's no one else. Okay,
No.
okay. Then I go up with Dale. Then.
Well, bar the
Keeping
door
on
though,
your-
if you can.
Okay.
Keeping on your,
Yeah, like the outfit because I think
Yeah.
like, that gives me some amount of like why should it be here? Yeah, I think I will bar the door.
What type of door is this? Is it an electronic door?
It is a mechanical,
Okay.
big mechanical door.
What are our options for locking it from the outside?
I mean, do you have a key?
No.
Then I don't know.
I mean, if it was an electronic door, it seems like the type of thing you could maybe hotwire or something.
Your nano skills.
I don't.
Do you want to
anything
investigate to
else?
see if there is some
I
sort
have-
of Numenera?
I have a
Yeah.
special ability called Right Tool for the job. Now, I know I'm in evening wear, but I feel like this is like
Great.
what this is for, like a MacGyver situation.
Great. Go ahead, and this would be sort of like a lock picking challenge. It would
reverse
be
lockpicking.
a difficulty 15,
Oof.
but you have right tool for the job, which let's figure out. Sorry, I just have to get the book for one moment because I want to look up specifically what that does. What would you be trying to devise here?
I guess, I don't know. Yeah, pick the lock
Okay.
to lock it rather than unlock it. Yeah, I'm picking a lock, basically. I'm doing what a key would do.
Okay. So you gather together a couple of like what kind of things might you have?
Dale definitely has all sorts of crap in his pockets.
Yeah.
Such as, paper clips, maybe some sort of a bottle opener, I don't know, random bits and bobs, maybe a tie pin that he's losing, that, fell
Yeah.
off.
You need to have one unit of iotum, one sort of piece of device. You have a couple of ciphers, which are like one-use objects.
Yeah.
You could break one of those apart and pull out the power source from it.
I have a tracer and an infiltrator. I think the infiltrator, that's kind of what Mr. Sprinkles does. So I would be willing to sacrifice that. Unless this is the right tool for this job is a mummified fish with feathered wings in an ornate wooden box, which for some reason I brought along to this. Forget it. I knew this would come in handy. In
The
case
fish
of
bones. It's an intricate lock, and it's really a fishbone style.
break glass in case of reverse lockpicking. No, I'll sacrifice my infiltrator thing.
Yeah.
It's a handheld device that launches a projectile. Tiny capsule launches and moves at great speed, mapping and scanning on an area, blah, blah, blah. It's a bit of tech.
Cool.
Can I use that?
I mean, if you break it apart, so the cipher is unusable, and you pull out the little power source within it, then you could fashion that you could repurpose it into, I'll take it, into like a
Okay. Lockpick.
a locking device. Yeah. Sure. Make me a roll. Right tool for the job. I would say it's gonna be. It costs you 1 intellect point, but I think you have edge in intellect, so it's a free use. And you break this thing apart. Make me let me just make a little check here. Yeah. Make me a difficulty 9 roll.
Can I reduce that further?
You can. Yeah.
Do I want to do that? Yeah. Screw it. So
Because you're
6.
working quickly under a bit of pressure. We're talking like a number of, like in a minute, you're just trying to devise this.
So this makes it a 6.
Yeah.
Okay. Few deep breaths. Think back to your training, Dale. It's a 16.
16. You get this device. You sort of take the infiltrator, you break it apart, you find these little mechanical objects in it and the power source, and you kind of like readjust it and shove it into this big lock, and you feel the door vibrate and like suck closed as like whatever bars are in it are pushed into position. This device cracks in the effort, and the power source just goes.
I'll leave whatever's in the lock, so it's hard to
So you just leave this device in the lock.
Yeah.
Okay. Door is shut.
Bingo.
Let's hop over to Cornelius and Ruta. You're heading down to the bottom level. You see this press of guards. You're wearing your ceremonial sword and a little bit of like military rank, I assume, on your suit.
Do I? If you're
Your family is a
discharged.
military
Okay.
family. You were discharged, but you come from a military family,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So there's still some kind of like, hey, we know you served well, and we want you to represent that. We'll smooth over all of the details. They keep saying, like, don't worry about it. Like, be proud of your heritage. You know, this is our family.
Okay.
Yeah. So you get down there, and there's this press of like guards. There's technicians coming down and going into heading in toward the entrance down here. This sort of like service and engineering entrance under the Respitorium. So the ball of this thing is sort of hanging over you.
Do I see Cornelius?
Yeah, I was gonna say, do I spot Rita?
Ruta, you are in the vehicle. It's a bit hard
Okay.
to see what's going on out there.
Do I pass the vehicle though?
You see the vehicle. You saw where Ruta was pushed. There's a bunch of guards around.
Okay, I want to go up to the guard with the most authority
Yeah.
and just go like, hey, that woman you just pushed into she's with me.
Okay, you see a guard there. Big mustache.
Bigger or smaller than mine?
Bigger than yours.
What? But is it shinier?
Yeah.
It is not shinier, and it does not have glowing like veins through it.
An old-fashioned mustache measuring contest.
I really expected opposing roles there.
We'll have a mustache roll off at some point. Yes, what can I do for you?
The woman that currently was escorting to that vehicle.
This infiltrating terrorist
The rider?
who set off some sort of Numenera bomb inside there and
I think there's been a
damaged.
misunderstanding.
I don't think there's been a misunderstanding. I know what I was told.
Well, but did you see it?
No, but my officers told me exactly what happened. A woman snuck into the facility. Who are you? Why am I telling you this? This is
She's part of my
lockdown.
investigation group. We're trying
What
to figure out what's going on here.
What branch are you from?
There is I'm under Mr. Pierre Redders.
Are you indeed?
Yes, I am.
With the council authority. And pray tell, what is your name?
Cornelius Marin. I believe you must have heard of my family before.
Cornelius Marin. Of course I've heard of your family, but there's no one by the name of Cornelius Marin under my command, and I happen to be the commander of the council guard assigned to the harvest engine. So if Pierre has made changes in my roster without telling me, that is quite an interesting situation. Now,
Well-
if you're here to work under me, then fall in line.
Look, I have some intel, and Pierre knows this, by the way, that I have this intel on what could be what the threat could be. And the lady you just pushed into that vehicle also knows what this threat could be and was helping investigate the threat.
I have not been briefed on any such threats.
That's unfortunate. I guess that
Listen, if you're telling me that there's a new briefing that I should have, then please go and get the briefing, or bring me some sort of official document so I know you're not giving me a line of bullshit.
Look, would it be possible for me to talk to Rita?
To this criminal?
Yes, to this not criminal.
No!
Excuse me, not guilty until proven.
That is an American, U.S. American right?
There's no right here.
Just to remind you, this is somewhere else. Listen. Listen, if there is new briefing information that I should have, then it should go through the proper channels.
You're wasting your time. You can't always wait around to see what the system will bring you. Sometimes you just need to believe that there is a threat.
Listen, young man, I have got very far by working the system properly. And you, Marin, the name rings a bell if I understand correctly. What little I know about your history is forgettable.
Well, it's your funeral, I guess. And I turn around and march away.
Ruta, you...
Lean on the wall of that vehicle, be like, well, at least I will have time to sit in silence and chill for a bit.
You're sitting in this vehicle some distance away. Like there's a ring, there's like 5 or 6 soldiers around the vehicle. Nobody's in the driver's seat, but 2 people have gotten into this compartment that you're in. You're handcuffed. There's a bench on one side. 2 officers sit on the other side of the bench, and they're just sort of sitting there and watching you, like leaning back. And
may I check with you? Like,
Yeah.
with the amount of heat I feel on me,
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I've been in the facility. I said my name. I don't really want to escalate this because I think that if I kind of sit still and let it go through, like
Yeah.
I didn't really commit any serious crime.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I don't feel the pressing danger of like run for your life right now.
Right now, no, compared to like earlier in the day when you were rammed off the road in your walker by some people. You feel there's a different pressing feeling, but it is not necessarily run away. I would ask you if you wanted to make like some sort of intuition check for me. You could, to get more of a read on the situation. This would be like a difficulty 12.
Nope.
Okay. You're just sort of sitting here and staring down these 2 officers who are just like looking at you. One of them is like, novelist, huh?
Yes. Have you read?
Oh, big fan.
You don't look like my target audience, but I like to see fans.
Get a lot of time sitting around sometimes.
This is all just a major misunderstanding.
Yeah.
Like, terrorist, really?
Crazy, I know, to be hit by accusations like that after, setting off some sort of Numenera incident in the most locked down building in the city at the moment.
Exciting, isn't it?
It's quite exciting. It's
Yeah.
quite exciting. Well, the other guy is like listening to this, like, okay, whatever, and sort of like steps out of the van for a moment to talk to somebody, and the guy's like, yeah, it's quite exciting, and like a coin walks across his knuckles, and you catch
Oh, fuck
the
that.
coin
Oh, no.
is not Sylvan currency. It's got a Mylandian seal on it. And
Oh, no. Oh.
it's incredible.
Oh, I felt almost relieved to be like handcuffed
Yeah.
and arrested, being like, oh, thank God I don't need to make any decisions. I'm gonna
Yeah.
chill for a bit. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm gonna keep small talking like I haven't noticed it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna be like, okay.
It was deliberately like he pulled it out, right? There's just a little slight sly grin on his face. We cut over to Victor. You're in
on
separate
our way.
places.
No, I
Or
think we
you're
are
going
both on our
together.
Well,
way.
I've pulled that door and then I was going to run
And
up.
Yeah.
you're following Victor up.
I think if you're going to the top floor, I should probably get rid of my tech
Okay.
jackets. I'm
So
going
you
to do that. Yeah.
strip off this jacket.
Just drop it on the.
You get up
Yeah.
to the top floor. Press of people, 50, 60, 80 people now. More coming in the next walker coming up the hill. People dressed up for the evening out. Oh, what's going on? Oh my God, there's been an incident. Oh, no. And up at the front, there's the tall figure of Pierre, and you see the ushers, of course, Part and Pierre and Emerald and Sapphire heading into the building. It's a press of people now. You can see by the walker, you can see Janice is waiting, and the two of you get up to this top level, and you watch Cornelius's fiance and the father and sister heading into the building.
I think like if we try to tell them what exactly went on down there, there's some sort of like gravity field distortion, they might be a bit more hesitant about trying to enter the building and figure it out.
I'm just going to yell that there's a fire happening.
Or that.
Okay? I'm going to stand up on a trash can, low wall, something,
Yeah.
use my barrel chest and presumably ample voice,
Uh-huh.
and just start yelling, "Fire! There's a fire in the building! We need everyone to evacuate immediately! Fire on the lower level! Go, go, go!"
Just to check. This is a crowd of people already outside the building, many meters from the building.
I thought you said there was a press on the way into the building.
No, it's the press of people at the ushers who are basically like, no, you can't go in yet. There's been an incident. And you watch the ushers part and let through a couple of figures. One or two more people, they seem to be aides to Pierre, walking into the building. And then they close just to set that for you.
Why are they letting people? I don't understand what's happening.
They're letting in the official who runs the program.
Oh, okay. And so we couldn't get to the ushers easily. There's a big press of people.
You could move your way up to the ushers, for sure.
I'll move my way up to the ushers.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say, "Howdy, Sergeant Dale Briscoe, Civil Defense 2nd Airborne. We have evidence of a credible terrorist threat on the lower levels of the building. We believe there's a large energy source that's acting as a bomb, and we need you to evacuate everyone immediately. Evacuation has begun on the lower levels. I don't know why you haven't got that information yet, but everyone here is in danger."
Make a persuasion check. I'm going to say that because of the sort of heightened energy here, you have an asset or advantage on it, which is going to lower your difficulty by 3 here. So it would be a difficult task at 12. It's now a demanding task at 9.
Okay.
But you could spend effort if you wanted.
Would that be intellect again?
It would be intellect.
that's
You're
kinda
starting to eat into it.
Yeah, well,
it's been a lot of
this is
social
important.
stuff to do.
Yeah. Not my forte. Okay, so that brings it down to a 6?
Yeah.
10. I've passed every dice roll today.
That's amazing.
Pretty crazy.
That's great.
Amazing.
They're like, "Oh, Sergeant, oh my God, we just sent some people into the
You
building."
need to get them the hell out of there.
One of the ushers look at there. You said there's a bomb in there?
There is a bomb.
Okay, I don't know what that means, but go grab them. You see the doors closing. They've already entered the building. The usher's like, "Me? What?" It's like this young guy.
I'll push through.
So you push through. You start heading toward there.
I think I'm following you.
Yeah.
You're moving through this press of the crowd. You feel a hand grab your arm
Okay.
for a moment, and there's just this this voice says, hang on, I have to, where's that note? My notes are spread out. This is important though. Thanks for the moment. Sorry. You spin around. You hear a voice. It says, "Miski?" And
Who is Misky?
You spin around and you're staring into the face of a well-dressed, tuxedo-wearing face you haven't seen in years. Gentle features, sort of like mid-brown skin, dark reddish hair, pushed back, gold piercing in the nose and the ears. It is the face of Torath Haggis, childhood friend.
Torath, what are you...
Whiskey? What the...
Listen, I don't have time to explain. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on right now, but it's so nice to see you.
What is... He pulls out one of your poetry chapbooks. I knew you would be... I knew you were still alive.
I like...
And we're going to end the episode.
Ooh.
Nice.
Oh, goodness.
Wow.
Danger and intrigue and the past bubbling up and drama coming in from all different angles. We're going to thank you so much for joining us for the second episode of our Numenera adventure. Right outside the Respitorium, there is a wild confusion. There's someone arrested and possibly compromised by agents from an opposing faction. There is a poet who is confronted by someone from a home he ran away from long ago, and there are family matters to attend to. There's status and love or challenge with family being wrapped up in this technological experience of Sildafen, and there is this desire to do the right thing and to try to push your way through into a position of really discomfort of trying to be official.
And yet no pigs.
And yet somewhere
They better show up.
somewhere is a precinct of wild pigs. We are Tales Held Dear. We are a group of improvisers in Berlin, Germany, and we are so glad that you joined us. We play every 2 weeks and on Sunday, and we would like to thank a couple of people for supporting us. We get equipment donations from a lot of people, from Bear Radio, who is a podcast network in Berlin. You should look them up. And also from the Comedy Cafe Berlin, where all of us met and where we perform regularly. And we borrow a bunch of equipment from them as well. So if you're in town, you should go check out Comedy Cafe Berlin, and you should look up Bear Radio online. Is there anything else that we should say?
Yeah, I need to thank my parents.
Yeah.
Mama, tata, дякую, що дивитесь.
Thanks everyone for watching. We are doing this as for the love and fun, but we pay out of pocket for some of this stuff. So if you want to look us up on Ko-Fi or Coffee, Tales Held Dear, any little tip is really, really appreciated. And we'll see you in 2 weeks.